Thank you. I project a little bit. This is better. We're going to go ahead and get on the record. Good evening, everyone. It is September 16th, and the current time is 6:32 p.m. The Missouri Public Service Commission has set this time for a local public hearing to give members of the public a chance to comment about the application in file number WR 2024-0104, which is captioned in the matter of the request of Liberty Utilities, Missouri Water, LLC, doing business as Liberty, for authority to implement a general rate increase for water and wastewater service provided in its Missouri service area. The Missouri Public Service Commission regulates investor-owned utility companies in Missouri and ensures that rates are just and reasonable. The Commission also regulates the quality of service and safety of the operations of investor-owned utilities. The Commission is made up of 5 commissioners, Chair Kayla Hahn, and Commissioners Maida Coleman, Jason Holzman, Glenn Kolkmeyer, and John Mitchell. The commissioners are appointed by the governor to fixed terms and confirmed by the Senate. The commissioners employ a staff of engineers, accountants, attorneys, financial analysts, and other specialists in the field of utility regulation. With me today are Commissioner Coleman in person, as well as Chair Hahn, Commissioner Holzman, and Commissioner Kolkmeyer online. Commissioners, if you have any questions at any time, feel free to interrupt me and ask them. My name is Riley Fuel, and I'm the regulatory law judge presiding over this hearing. This is an official hearing of the Missouri Public Service Commission, and the statements and testimony of witnesses will be recorded by the court reporter and must be given under oath or affirmation. The Commission has not made any decisions in this case, and neither the Commissioners nor myself can answer any questions about the issues of the case today because the Commission must remain impartial until all of the evidence is presented at the evidentiary hearing in this matter, scheduled to take place in November. Liberty Utilities provides water, sewer, electric, and gas services. However, this case only concerns the water and wastewater rates. This is not the appropriate local public hearing to comment on gas or electric service or rates because those are not at issue in this case. As we want to provide all attendees an adequate opportunity to speak tonight, we will limit the time for testimony to only 5 minutes. The court reporter is transcribing this hearing so that the Commission may review and read the comments. Commissioners, would you like to make any opening remarks?
Thank you, Judge. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I do understand that we have some customers that have signed up to speak tonight, so I want to say thank you so much on behalf of our chairwoman, Kayla Hahn, and the other commissioners. As the judge mentioned, we are not able to answer questions, but certainly we may have questions of you. We may be interested in getting more details. So I'd like to thank you for taking the time to come here this evening. Thank you to all those who've traveled here to participate. Thank you to the staff and to all who are representing the consumers and the company and all of the entities that are involved here tonight. We appreciate your attention to this matter tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
If the parties can make their entries of appearance, beginning with Liberty.
Diana Carter for Liberty Utilities, Missouri Water, LLC.
The Commission staff.
Casey Aslin for Commission staff.
The Office of Public Counsel.
Mark Poston for the Office of Public Counsel.
And any interveners present who would like to make an entry of appearance? Hearing none. For those who would like to make comments today, I'm going to call the names listed on the sign-up sheet in the order that they appear. When I call your name, please come down to the microphone. I will place you under oath and ask you to state and spell your name, and then you can offer your comments to the Commission. As I previously stated, we are limiting comments to 5 minutes today so that everyone present has an adequate chance to be heard. Also, please remain at the podium after your remarks until you've been excused because the Commission may have some questions for you. If the attorneys have any questions, they can let me know at that time as well. Will Mr. Thresher come up to the microphone? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to give are the truth?
I do.
Please state your name and spell your name.
Jeffrey Thresher, Jeffreythresher.
What would you like to tell the commission?
I live in a mobile home community in Cedar Hill, Missouri, and back in 2018, I was standing here asking the commission not to give a huge increase to my water bill. My water bill from 10 to 12 $30, $40 a month. Yes, it tripled. I'm being told it's not the case this time. I saw a 130% increase on that paper. That's not, they were saying that's something else. They're saying my bill might go up about $10. Well, I can tell you right now, I'm on a fixed income. When I get a 2.5% increase and then everybody wants a 5 to 10% increase for every other bill out there, it's hard for me to make ends meet. And there's a lot of people in my neighborhood in the same boat I'm in. And I know families of 5 that are paying $150, $200 a month for water right now, and they're struggling. So I'm asking y'all to learn the word no or not so much. Find another way. That's what I'm asking you to do now, to really look at this over and make sure that they don't get a penny more than they need to get by, because that's what we're having to do right now, is scrape pennies out of the couch so that we can pay for the next bill that comes in. You know, and that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you for your comments. Do the commissioners have any questions? Okay, hearing none, you may be excused.
Thank you.
And Ms. Bristol. I apologize if I mispronounced that.
That's fine. It's Carol Bristol. It's CarolBristle.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to give are the truth?
Yes.
You may proceed.
Okay, what happened to me is I live in Lakewood Hills subdivision, and at the end of January, I received a bill. I don't have all my notes here. I didn't realize this was going to happen. But I received a bill for approximately $330, $340. I was a little freaked out. My average bill at that time was fluctuating between $55 and $75. So I called the person I spoke with immediately after taking a look and talking to me, said it definitely looks like there's an issue. It's not making sense at all compared to what your normal bill has ever been. Something doesn't look right, so let's look into it. I talked to her probably, I think, 3 times, after which time she was working with me. I had sent her an email of information, which she said she never received, and that was a video that the plumber took showing that my meter did not move the entire time he was at the house. Also a photo, and he said that was important for the fact that if there was a leak, as per what they were telling me that mine was leaking, there's absolutely no way that thing would not be spinning like crazy. And it did not move. He checked the property and the house for leaks. And then I sent over his bill, the information that he found, and the photo and video. Then after that, I could no longer talk to her. Every time I called, they told me I could not request a certain party, that they would only be able to give me to the person that answered the phone. I was told that 2 or 3 times, every time I tried to ask for her. Every time after that, they wanted me to go through everything, every single phone call, before they could do anything, instead of reading the notes. So this went on and on. Each phone call was approximately 15 to 35 minutes long every time I called. And up until the first time that I actually got my first result, which was about 6 months, I had emails. I went on the website and I emailed. I went through phone calls, and there was one other site to do with Liberty that I went on, trained to reaching out to people, and got nothing at all. At what point, twice, I was told that they suggested I consider getting a plumber So when I asked for my plumber to be refunded, because she had said once we found that the leaks were not on my side, they should be refunded, I was told they don't refund plumbers. That was up to me to get a plumber. But I also let them know that I was also told unless I proved that the leak wasn't on my end, that they would not do any refunding. The only way I can prove that is with a plumber. So I'm paying $200 to get back $400. So that was kind of a not make sense thing. So it took me many phone calls. Then I was given notification by somebody in our subdivision. They suggested I call the PSC, which I did, made a complaint. And then from there, I had reached out to another person, which is, at that point, I didn't realize was still with PSC. But that particular one, not the first one, is where I hit results. I have a high regard for them now because I got my first call back. Unlike Liberty, I got my first call back within 30 minutes. And from there, the ball was rolling. Between emails and phone calls, they were notifying me constantly of what the position was and what they were doing for me. I finally got, at the end of August, 1st of September, I finally got what they had told me that they were going to refund me. I finally got that put into my account. Now, the last issue that I had was the plumber bill. And I also, during this time, the original person with the Public Service Commission had called me during this time, and he didn't really give me too much information, but that's where I found out about the formal complaint. So I filed a formal complaint. And it took me 7 months and to get refunded what I should have been refunded. I've never found out exactly what happened. Like I said, the phone calls alone, 17. When I counted back, it was between 17 phone calls and emails total. Most of them being phone calls is what it took for me to resolve that. At this point, I've been promised a refund for the plumber. I have not called them to see if it's on my account yet. That's just been a few days ago. It was the end of last week. But he said to allow 30 days. So that's what I'm waiting for now. I do know at one point, one supervisor told me that they would not, no matter what, they weren't going to refund the plumber. So I fought for that. But I mean, I just think one of the top things that bother me is not only is the quality of the water that I've always loved no longer there anymore, but the service that you have to go through to get anything resolved with them is a nightmare. And I only wish more people from our subdivision would have come and spoke tonight, because it's definitely a problem there. There's too many people complaining that they've got high water bills, their water bills are doubling and tripling, there's no reason for it. It's a lot of times it's after the water breakage. So that should be able to track something, and we don't get any, there's no way to get there. And if you can't get there by making a phone call, I'm not sure what else you're supposed to do. So that's it for me.
Thank you for your comments, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Sorry for the frustrations that you've had. Do the commissioners have any comments they'd like to make?
This is Commissioner
Thank you.
Kochmeyer. I would like to comment. Judge, can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry that you had this trouble. And I feel sorry for you that you had to go through all this. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for letting us know that the PSC customer service is working.
Oh, it is
That makes us
wonderful.
feel good that you got some results once you got a hold of the PSC. So thanks again for your comments.
You're welcome. I appreciate them.
Mrs. Bristow, so at this point, it sounds like your issues have been mainly resolved, although we're waiting, you were told about 30 days before you'll get the refund for the plumber. Are you feeling that your case, your situation has been resolved once you receive that?
To the best I can see it being resolved, yes. I mean, I feel like I wasted a whole lot of my life and my time, but there's not really much you can do about that when you're fighting for something, so. But yeah, I mean, I wanted what was rightfully due back to me. That's all I ever wanted to begin with. I just didn't expect it to take 7 or 8 months to get there.
Would you expand on your comments regarding the quality of the water? You said the water quality is low. What's going on with the water?
I really don't understand because we've lived there approximately 17 years. And I have always bragged on our water. I don't drink bottled water. I carry my water everywhere. I drink the water at home. I've never had an issue. But over the last 3 months, everybody in my house is now drinking bottled water or out of the refrigerator because our water doesn't taste right anymore when we use the tap water. It tastes like there's chemicals or chlorine in it. I can't put it to paper exactly what it is, but it's not the same water anymore. And on the toilet, have never until recently had that problem. And it's like, even with the clean, when your toilet's clean, it's all of a sudden you're seeing a ring in the toilet that's never been there before. Now, I know our upstairs water, they're having problems with it as far as being white, and they said even if they sit the glass out overnight, it stays that way. I've never personally checked it out on my own, and somebody told me that was air in the water. So I don't know.
How about the coloration of the water? Is it still the same?
It looks the same in the glass, yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you, and thanks again for being here tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to offer their comments today? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the comments you're about to give are the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Please state your name and spell it.
Judy Meixner, Judymeixner.
You may proceed.
Thank you. I too live in the Lakewood Hills subdivision. I've been there 34, 35 years. The subdivision is 60 years old. We have a very, very old water system. Pipes do break. We understand that. We understand that Liberty bought a very, very old system. How much they knew about what they were getting themselves into, I couldn't tell you. But we also have extremely poor water pressure. I'm 3 houses down from the pump house, and I and my neighbors on both sides of me have to have pressurizer pumps to be able to run a sprinkler in the yard or take a shower with more than a dribble. And you certainly can't, my pump's out right now, I can't run 2 faucets at the same time and get enough water out to do anything. So that's been an issue, but I just accepted it until today, and I knew I could tell you about it. We've had numerous outages in the past year and a half, seemingly more outages than I remember living there. Most of the time I'm walking my dogs and I see water on the road, and we call Liberty initially, and then we directly call Franklin Labs, who responds as quickly as they possibly can. The gentlemen from Franklin Labs have been amazing. They come out and do the best they can. Often they have to dig up large areas. Apparently there's no map of our water system for them to know where the pipes are. And so they have to dig up large sections. Sometimes those large sections stay open for extended periods of time. There's one by one of the pump houses right now that's been a hole with a shovel and a little bit of tape that's fallen down for about a year. There's no communication when the water goes out except for myself and others sending it out on social media. If you ever use Nextdoor, don't. There's no way to communicate that except to send text messages to people. Because of the low water pressure where I am, I notice it quicker than others. My parents have a house at the other end of the subdivision. Their pressure is so great that we had to put a pressure regulator on the outside of their house because we kept blowing their hoses when I was setting up their automatic sprinkler system. So it varies throughout the subdivision. When the water has a breakage someplace, typically the whole system, the whole 152 properties go out completely because it drains out. And I'm one of the first ones to lose the water, so you fill a bunch of water jugs and you do what you can. Sometimes there's boil order signs placed. We have 5 physical entrances into the subdivision. I don't know how many signs they have. I know that the last time there was outbreak, I had one of the signs in the storage area, and I told them about it, and I put it up. But I don't know if they put them at the other 4 entrances. Usually people do not know about the boil orders. I understand now they have an automated system. Possibly we'll get notification of that in the future, but we have had no central notification of boil orders. And most people don't even know what it means, so we send out notices. I'm the newsletter editor. I send out notices explaining to people what they need to do if there's a boil order. We would really like to know what the plans are for the infrastructure in our subdivision. What do they plan to do, or do they plan to do anything? We have, as this gentleman earlier mentioned, we have very, very old roads. We are looking at spending thousands of dollars to repair our roads, and we certainly don't want to do that on top of a water line that's going to break and have to be dug up again. That's just a waste of everybody's time and effort. It would be very helpful for us to know if there are plans for infrastructure repairs in our neighborhood so that we can coordinate that with what we're planning on doing with our roads. And that's about it.
Have these issues, did they begin when Liberty bought or moved into the area, or were they increased during that time, would you say?
They have increased, for sure. Because, like I said, the roads are getting really bad, too. It could be part of that. I don't know why they've increased in the last couple of years. I do remember outages in the past. I remember a lot of power outages, too. Things just happen in rural areas. I don't remember the frequency that we're having now, and certainly not the big holes that get dug to try and find where these pipes are and repair them.
That was the only question I had. Do any of the commissioners have any questions? Okay. You may be excused.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to offer their comments today? Okay. If you or someone you know would like to make additional comments, there is a consumer comments tab that can be reached via the commission's website. That is psc.mo.gov. On the right side of the home page, there's a link titled Submit Comments. You would click on that link to submit your comments and make sure that you reference this case number, WR20240104. There will also be several additional local public hearings over the next few weeks. There will be 2 local public hearings on Thursday, September 19th at the American Legion Hall located in the city of Bolivar at noon and 6 p.m., 1 on Tuesday, September 24th at the Washington County Library located in the city of Potosi at noon, 1 at the Branson City Hall on Wednesday, September 25th at 6 p.m., and 1 on Thursday, September 26th at the Osage Center located in Cape Girardeau at 6 p.m. There will also be 2 virtual local public hearings that may be easier to attend. The first is tomorrow, September 17th at 6 p.m., and the other is on Friday, September 27th at noon. Would any of the commissioners like to make a closing remark?
Again, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your comments. We appreciate it.
I also want to thank everyone for their comments today. And this hearing is now adjourned. We'll go off the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.